additional soft capacity. So the growth of the 95th CA Brigade and the growth of additional soft forces and capability in the department is meant to address some of the more complex actions and operations that are going to be required in irregular warfare for the U.S. government. But at the same time, the guidance from the department to the services is all of DOD has to get better in irregular warfare. All of the services, Navy, Army, Air Force, has to rebalance their structure to address needs in that. There's an irregular warfare roadmap that has about 28 specific tasks that the services or OSD or the Joint Staff to address relating to irregular warfare. Some of those have first-order effects. I won't go through all of those. Many of them relate to language and culture. The human terrain team issue was one of those that came out of that, understanding social structures. That was part of the irregular warfare. But the main one I would like you to be aware of is the requirement for the J8 to do a study on capacity for civil affairs, for PSYOP, for HUMINT, for foreign area officers and IO, as it relates to the general purpose force. What does the general purpose force, what kind of capabilities, enabling capabilities does the general purpose force, conventional force need? And so the J8 has led the study. It's close to completion. It was reported out to the services this week, and then the OSD policy will get a look at it, I hope, next week, and see what the combatant command demand requirement is from the combatant commands for a steady state posture in irregular warfare. And just to let you know the scope, there are 41 countries identified that in which they are a failing state, or they are kind of a brown state, where maybe the government is friendly to the U.S., but large sections of the population are not friendly to the U.S. So how do we operate in those countries? How do we work with those countries to make them more capable? And that 41 country problem has generated an aggregate of about a 20,000 manpower requirement per year, steady state, and those 41 countries around the world. So we've got to find a way to operate in a persistent way, working with partners, and that means our force is going to have to operate in ways it hasn't operated in the past. And civil affairs will be a part of that. Also, as it relates to regular warfare, time? Okay, okay, two last points, the role of SOF. Certainly the 95th CA Brigade and SOF CA is going to be playing a major role in regular warfare. From a policy standpoint, that's where the department wants the 95th to be, dealing with irregular warfare. The implication for that, for the Army and for the conventional, is who is the ready force for civil affairs for contingency? For the Iraq surge, the decision was made very painfully, take the 95th, deploy them as part of the conventional force going into Iraq for the surge. That is kind of the exception. If another contingency comes on again, and it's to support the general purpose force, it's going to have to go back to the GPF CA to man that requirement. The 95th is no longer the early entry force, the contingency force for the department for contingencies. That'll have to come from the general purpose force. So with that, I'll look forward to any questions you might have, and I'll turn it over to the next speaker.